Morning, everyone. I hope you're all well. Apologies again for not being there, but I have recorded some videos which the Marie will send out. We'll talk you through now. So the idea of these is just give you an introduction to Learn Assistant. Now, I did do some training with you before, and this is probably just a bit of a recap for some of you. So just to explain, obviously, Learn Assistant is an e-portfolio and can be accessible on the internet. So to access your particular site, what you'll need to do is go to system.learningassistant.com/CC Wales. Mine's LA Demo 4 because I'll be showing you my demo systems. I don't want to do it on your live system, but yours is system.learningassistant.com/CC Wales. Okay, and that will get you into the system. You can access the site on any browser, including Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox. But just to reiterate, you have to physically type the address into the address bar. You cannot Google search this. It's very much not a searchable item because of the different security and data protection. It cannot be Google search. You have to physically type this address in the address bar. Once you do, you'll get a very similar page. Log into this. You will get your own logo. So most of you have a login, and if not, you should have. Maybe should provide that. If I just log in as an assessor, that's me, and that'll log me in. And this is the assessor's homepage. So what I'm going to do, the first part of this video, I'm just going to show you the assessor setup. So the idea is I'll show you a bit of this, then you can then log into your site and do something very similar. Then obviously then the next video we played and so forth. So first of all, this is the home page. So let me just explain the home page to you. So first of all, we've got an avatar top left hand corner. So I've got Simon Berry, so it's my name obviously, and it's a picture of a male. If I click on this male, it will open up a sub menu. Okay, so that sub menu, the first one is learners. So if I click on learners, okay, what that will give me is a list of all my learners. Okay, so this is currently my caseload. So of all my learners that are currently attached to me, if I click on any one of them, so customer service, for example, that will take me into the learners portfolio, like so. Okay, we'll go into that a little bit later on. But what that does is just give you access to your caseload. If you're a verifier as well, it does break it down into learners you assess, and then it'll break down into learners you verify if you're a verifier as well. So I'm not on a verifier login at the moment, but if you was, it could be split. What is WBR? WBR is work-based recorder. So it's like your expert witness. Probably not that much used because you probably just upload the witness statement for them really. Okay, so let's have another little look. So the next menu is avatar. So if I click on the avatar, you can upload a picture of yourself. So this can range from your own photo or another photo of somebody else, so Google image or something, but you can upload. So if you like a social media presence, you can obviously upload a photo of yourself if that's what you want. Learners then will see that photo. Okay, haven't got to, it'll just stay like this if you want to. The next one is password. So this gives you an opportunity to change your password. So if I click on password, it give me put my current password in, and I can change it then if I want to. The Learn Assistant password is not set to change. So notifications. So this is really important for me and I think for you. So when you first start using the system, it's nice to have a reminder of logging in and when you need to do stuff. So if I click notifications, this will bring up this menu here. And what I can do is my email address we put into there, so you can physically type it in. So if it's not in there, then you can type it in, but I'm pretty sure most of your email address have been set up by Lloyd, so it's not a problem. So then what you've got then is the options. So it's defaulted to no. So if you leave it as no, you'll get no notifications to your email. If you set it to per message, what will happen then is every time something happens in the system, you'll get an email. So for example, if 10 learners today uploaded 10 pieces of evidence, you would get 10 separate emails, which could be a bit of overkill. But there's also a daily option. So if you set it to daily, at the end of the day, you'll get a summary email. When I say end of the day, I do mean end of the day, so like about midnight. So it will send you a summary email of everything that's happening in the system. So these 6 learners have uploaded evidence, these 4 learners have had IQA on there. So that'll give you that kind of summary. So you set that to daily, all the rest of the options to yes, and then click Save Email Settings. Okay, and then that'll just make sure then you'll get an end of the day email just covering what is there. Okay. Then what we got then is preferences. So the preferences is very simply the layout of the system. So what we got is over here we got like different font sizes, different if you want to put different fonts icons in there, you've got different kind of settings, fixed header, fixed footer, and this is entirely up to you. So you haven't got to change anything. What we've then got is charts. You can either choose to have bar charts, pie charts, donut, and so forth. They're all just kind of your personal settings, nothing too extravagant in there. The ones to stick out for me, records per page. If your caseloads are quite high, then at the moment it's set to 25, but if you want to change it, you can change it to 50. Okay, so then there'll be 50 learners per page when you're searching for learners. And then if you scroll down at the bottom as well, the learner results display. So it will be set by course by default. Now what that means is if your learner's on more than one course, so for example essential skills as well as the main qualification, then your learners will appear in more than one list. So if you group by course, it might have the health and social care, list of all your learners, then essential skills, list of all your learners. So that learner will appear in more than one list. So if you don't want that to happen and you want to look at the learner what they want, if you group it by learner, it'll be learner's name, their course, learner's name, their course. So either or, my recommendation if they're on more than one course is group by learner. But if only on one course, then group by course. But again, that's up to you and how you set that up. So we click submit, that'll do that. Okay, so finally on the avatar, there's a log out button. So really important that you log out the system, because if you don't log out the system, it will obviously stay logged in. There's a lot of data in the system which you can use, which people can obviously log in, got date of birth, addresses, and so forth. So when you're not using the system, it is handy that you should just log out. It'll give you another prompt, and then you can just click log out. Go in there. So I'll just log back in. Okay, so that's your avatar. So very quickly, just to recap, learners is your caseload, avatar is your image here, password, change your password, notifications, just so you get a reminder, preferences, which is just your standard, then just your log out button. So just continuing on the home page, what we've got is there is an October release which is coming soon, which I'll talk you through in a bit later now. So what you've got on the home page of an assessor, this is what we deem as the most important bit for me. So this is like your to-do list. So anything that sits in a waiting review is work that the learners have submitted. So you've got, so on mine, I've got obviously different learners and it's a test site. So forgive me on the names like Donald Duck and learner manager and stuff. But basically what this shows me is these learners have submitted these units to me on these dates. So they're waiting for my assessment, okay? So the learners that submit evidence to me, they've cross-referenced it, and they're awaiting my assessment decision, okay? So once I've made the assessment decision, they'll disappear off here, but that's kind of like the most important thing for me, because we're dealing with learners. This is the most important. We then got verifier referrals. So anything in here is what has been referred by the verifier. So these two learners have been referred on these units on these days, and they won't disappear until I action them. Okay. Then we've got overdue. So this is overdue work. So this is learner and what has been was been overdue. So if you want to set a learner to complete a unit by a certain deadline, so for example, if one of the units you want them to complete by yesterday, and you set a deadline of yesterday, when I log in today, that will show overdue, not only on my system, but also on the learner system. So it's a good way of focusing them to complete certain units. If you take a more holistic approach, then this won't be applicable, because obviously you won't set unit deadlines. Okay, so that's, for me, is your home page, assessor tasks. This is kind of your to-do list. So if this looks empty, then that's really good. Either you're really good at marking your work and keeping up to date, or the learner's not doing any work and there's nothing being fed through. Okay, so that's really important. So process, just looking along these menus by here, the process tasks are not applicable for you. It's not set up, so that menu won't be there. So messages. So in the system, you can message learners privately. So a bit like Outlook, where you can send them private messages, and then there's a link to your private messages here, so you can click on them and it'll open them up and you can read them. Okay, it does open a bigger message panel. Just go back to there. We also have an appointments calendar. So the appointments calendar is kind of just your appointments of what's coming up. So within the system, you can set appointments, so your next visits, etc., etc., and there where you can push this to the learner, and it'll update your calendar as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't link with Outlook, but obviously it does notify the learner when you come in, so that's always a good thing. Resources. So CCW Wales, I know Lynn Marie is working hard on this, can put some standard resources in the system, and this is where they're available. When I talk about standard resources, I talk about things like appeals procedure, learner handbooks and stuff like that, not qualification specific handbooks, but just generic resources in here. Okay. And then finally, LA Anyway. So I've talked a lot about the system being online, but what the system can do as well is provide offline facilities. So we've got a desktop facility here, so you can download this to your laptop. Okay, before you go out and do any assessments, you can log into it using, when you've got access to the internet, there'll be a sync button. Click the sync button and that'll give you the most up-to-date data. You can then go out for a couple of days doing assessments, carry on doing assessments, and then offline, and then when you come back into the office, log back in, click the sync button, and it will obviously sync all the stuff you've done offline with the online system. Okay, so that's obviously really useful if you're going to some places where there's no Wi-Fi connection. So that's really useful. Also, what we've got is an app as well. So I did talk to you about this before. Now, if you've downloaded the app, I would recommend re-downloading it. It's only available for Android and Apple. So unfortunately, it's not available for Windows, and that's because Windows are kind of not developing no more apps and whatnot. So unfortunately, if you've got a Windows phone, it won't work with Windows phone. So Android and Apple, if you go onto the Play Store or the App Store, download Learn Assistant, just called Learn Assistant, then it will, when you open it, it will ask you for your username and password. It's the same username and password you log into here. And then it will also ask you for an instance name. So your instance name is CC Wales. When it logs in, then you will have access to My Learners, you'll have access to messages, but most importantly, you'll have access to a record button. And this is where you can record a discussion. So this is really useful. So I would recommend having a look at this and having a little play. I will try and record a separate video on that. It's a bit difficult with an app, but have a little look. It gives the ability to do a recorded discussion and then cross-reference it straight away. Really useful. Again, I showed it to you before, so hopefully it'll be the same thing. But there's been a new app upload. There's been a new app recently, so I would recommend deleting whatever you've got now at the moment and re-downloading it. Very, very useful. So that's the home page. So some of these are just like nice to have, but this assessor tasks is the most important bit. Okay, so that's probably me talked enough at the moment. So I'd probably suggest if everyone can kind of log in, click on your avatar, set up your notifications. So put your email address in and change off obviously your notifications. And then obviously have a look at your preferences tab as well. Change them if needs be. So obviously looking at the records per page and either group by learner or group by a course. So do that. Also have a look at your home page as well. So have a look at your resources. If anyone's got your phones, I'd probably look at downloading the app and having a little play with that for a couple of minutes. So, and then obviously you can have a look at assessor task. Yours will probably be blank because obviously you haven't accessed the system yet, so there'll be no thing. So if we can all log in now, and then what I'll do is obviously once you've done that, then Marie will play the next video. Okay, thanks.